The Interstellar Academy of Cultural Exchange orbited a quiet blue dwarf star, a glittering ring of metal and light suspended in the ink of space. To most species, the Academy was the pinnacle of interspecies diplomacy, an institution where young minds from across the galaxy mingled, learned, and forged bonds that would shape centuries of cooperation. Yet despite the centuries of progress, there remained one species whose inclusion was complicated: humans, not because they were violent, though historically they certainly had their moments, not because they were primitive, though their technology lagged behind most spacefaring civilizations, and not even because they were unpredictable, though psychological assessments consistently ranked them among the most volatile emotional species. No, humans were restricted because of something else entirely, something the administrators referred to only as Phenomenon H. And on the day the alien students scoffed at the rules, mocking what they saw as overly cautious restrictions, they would learn firsthand why humans were not allowed to roam freely within the Academy. They would learn why humans were always kept behind containment wing Theta, and why no species, no matter how curious, was permitted to interact with them without extreme supervision. They would learn why the guidelines were not warnings. They were promises, beginning. Lyra of the Feathered Kasari was the first to scoff. She and her classmates drifted down the observation hall, their taloned feet clinking on the glass floor that overlooked Earth's orbit, holographic displays rippling around them. Her feathers puffed with haughty amusement as she read the posted rules. Maintain a minimum 5 meters from human subjects at all times. Do not engage in emotional provocation. Do not touch human subjects. Do not allow human subjects to perceive fear. Lyra let out a chirping laugh. Are we serious with this? What are they going to do? Feel us to death? Other students chuckled. The towering Crystalline Vorax student, Thren, radiated shimmering pulses of teal, a sign of humor. Yes, truly frightening. The soft-skinned mammals with their inefficient circulatory systems will surely overpower us. A few students from gelatinous eyeless species rippled in agreement. Even the insectoid krillins clattered their mandibles in amusement. Only one student hung back. Nero, a thin, pale humanoid with dark eyes. A human. Well, half-human. His father was Terran. His mother belonged to a long-lived psionic species, which granted Nero a noticeably calmer presence than full-blooded humans. He wasn't considered dangerous. Not in the same way the human subjects were. He tugged his sleeve anxiously. You shouldn't make fun of the rules, he murmured. Lyra rolled her eyes. Oh, come on, Nero. You're human, sort of, and you seem perfectly harmless. If humans were so dangerous, you wouldn't be allowed here at all. That's not how it works. Then enlighten us, Thren said with a crystalline flicker. Why is an entire wing dedicated to containing your species? Why does the Academy act like humans are explosive compounds waiting to combust? Nero hesitated. He could tell them the truth, how humans' emotional fields behaved differently than any species ever studied, how their emotional output was disproportionately powerful, capable of inducing sympathetic responses so strong in other species that they bordered on psychic contagion, how the Academy had classified humans as a class delta empathic hazard. But he knew they wouldn't understand. Not without seeing it. You won't believe me, he said simply. Just don't break the rules. They're not there for you. They're there for everyone else. His classmates exchanged smug, conspiratorial looks. Lyra clicked her beak. We're just curious, that's all. And curiosity, in the Academy, was the most dangerous spark of all. Middle. The visitor's wing of containment Theta was not easy to access. The restricted areas were sealed behind shimmering force fields, guarded by floating sentry drones, and posted with warning holograms in over 200 languages. But alien adolescents were the same everywhere. Rules existed to be challenged. Lyra had done her research. Human subjects were kept in an artificial habitat designed to resemble their planet. Trees, grass, simulated sunlight, all tucked neatly beneath a containment dome. There were only 12 humans here, all volunteers. They had agreed to be studied so future humans could someday integrate peacefully into galactic society. In return, they lived comfortably, with privacy, food, entertainment, and the best psychological care advanced civilizations could offer. But they were never permitted to see the other students, or to know they were being observed at this very moment. The alien students pressed to the viewing glass. On the other side, a group of humans sat at a picnic table. They laughed, gesturing animatedly as they chatted. Their voices, though muffled, carried tones of warmth and camaraderie, and something else, a vibrational undercurrent, an emotional field. To the alien students, the sensation was subtle, like faint pressure at the edges of their minds. "These are the fearsome humans?" Thren scoffed. "They seem pleasant and small," Crystalline snorted. Nero swallowed hard. "Guys, listen to me. The field you're feeling, that's just them relaxing. That's nothing." "Oh yes," Lyra teased. "They're positively lethal. Look at them, smiling, adorable." Then she leaned closer, and her crest brushed the glass. It was enough. A soft chime sounded. Proximity alert. Observer distance. Too close. Emotional feedback risk detected. The hologram flashed red. Nero's heart plummeted. "Move back," he hissed. "Right now." But before the group could react, one of the humans inside the dome turned toward the glass. A young woman with brown hair and kind eyes. She didn't know she was being watched. She didn't know her emotional field was breaching containment thresholds. She only saw something moving beyond the habitat's reflective barrier, and she smiled politely. The impact hit like a shockwave. The alien students staggered. Lyra squawked, dropping to her knees, feathers quivering. Thren's crystalline form flickered violently as emotional interference scrambled his higher functions. The gelatinous students rippled erratically. Crystalline collapsed, twitching as its neural lattice overloaded. Nero grabbed his head, gritting his teeth. Even he wasn't immune. The human inside blinked in confusion, unaware of the chaos she'd just caused. "Back!" Nero yelled. "Everyone back!" But the students scrambled in panic, their emotions spiraling. And the humans felt it. The feedback loop had begun. Inside the dome, the humans froze. Confusion sparked anxiety. Anxiety sharpened into alarm. Their emotional fields reacted instinctively, amplifying, intensifying. Fear, concern, panic. It washed out in a tidal wave of raw, unfiltered empathy. The observation hall erupted into pandemonium. Alien students collapsed against walls, overwhelmed by emotional influx. Some cried out, some curled into themselves. One Vorex student's crystalline body splintered from the strain of processing human panic. Nero tried to shout instructions, but his voice drowned in the storm. Alarms blared. Sentry drones swooped in, activating psychic dampeners, wrapping the students in null field barriers. The last thing Nero saw before blacking out was the human girl, pressing her palms against the inside of the dome, horrified by the suffering she didn't understand she'd caused. After the incident, when Nero regained consciousness, he lay in a sterile medbay surrounded by medical drones and a handful of administrators. Lyra was in the bed beside him, trembling under a neural stabilizer. Her feathers were dull and matted. She stared at the ceiling, eyes wide and unfocused. Thren was nearby, cracked spiderwebbing through his crystalline body where the emotional overload had nearly shattered him. Others fared worse. In total, 7 students required intensive therapy to stabilize their emotional matrices. 2 had temporary neural degradation. 1 Crystalline entered molting shock. No one died, but only barely, a stern voice echoed through the medbay. "You are all extremely fortunate this did not escalate further." Administrator Vasu glided into view, her translucent body flickering with bioluminescent stress colors. Lyra swallowed. We didn't know. We didn't understand." "That is precisely why the rules exist," Vasu said sharply. "Humans do not control their empathic output. Their emotional fields are uniquely powerful, dangerously contagious, and capable of triggering cascading feedback in any species with psionic or neural sensitivity." Thren shifted weakly. "We thought it was a myth. Many inexperienced students believe the restrictions are dramatized," Vasu said. "But humans evolved on a world of predators and extreme environmental pressures. Their neurology is optimized for rapid emotional bonding and high-intensity empathy, traits that benefited their survival but pose hazards to species not built to withstand such intensity." Nero coughed. "Is everyone going to be okay?" "With time," Vasu replied. But let this be a lesson. Human emotions are not merely psychological states, they are energetic broadcasts. She paused. And when reflected back, intentionally or not, they escalate, exponentially. Lyra's voice was small. We made them scared. Yes, Vasu said, and they felt your fear. They responded instinctively. They amplified it. Had containment shields failed, their emotional field could have expanded vastly beyond the dome. Thren stiffened. What would have happened? Vasu regarded them gravely. You would not have survived it. Silence hung heavy. Nero exhaled shakily. I tried to warn you. Lyra turned to him, shame in her eyes. We didn't listen. We judged your species without understanding it. Now you do. And now, Vasu added, you will complete empathy rehabilitation programs so this never happens again. The students nodded solemnly. But the incident was far from over, ending. 3 weeks later, once the alien students were stabilized enough to return to normal classes, the Academy held a mandatory assembly, one that included a rare event. The humans were invited to speak. Under careful layers of psychic dampening and emotional suppression fields, the 12 human subjects entered the assembly hall. Their steps were hesitant, expressions unsure. They too bore the memory of the incident. The same human girl who had first seen the students approached the podium. Her voice trembled slightly as the dampeners suppressed her natural emotional projection. My name is Maria, she began, and I'm so sorry. The ripple of discomfort across the assembly was palpable, but manageable. Maria continued, her voice gentle. We didn't know you were there. We didn't know we were hurting anyone. Humans evolved with strong emotional signals because we needed them to survive. It's part of us. We can't shut it off.